Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 8th and 9th verses of the 17th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The 8th verse is as follows. Na jatu kauravendranam dordanda parirambhite bhutale anupatanti asmin vinate praninam shuchaha. The meaning of this verses. Now for the first time in a kingdom well protected by the arms of the kings of the Kuru dynasty, I see you grieving with tears in your eyes. Up till now, no one on earth has ever shed tears because of royal negligence. Parikshit Maharaj is clearly saying that the rulers were so perfect that those deserving protection never had to worry about being neglected by the king or by the government. The law enforcement by the powerful rulers. Nobody had to fear any such upstart who would harm the cows or the humans like that. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the protection of the lives of both the human beings and the animals is the first and foremost duty of a government. Why is the government there at all? It is to give protection to the life. Human life is very precious. This is what repeatedly we have heard in the scriptures. All the scriptures, they say human life is very, very important. So is the life of the cow and the bull equally important. Why? Human life, as you have heard, is specially meant for God realization, for making a permanent solution to all problems of material existence by becoming God conscious. Very simple. And to help us to become God conscious, there is the Brahmanical culture which has to be maintained. Which has to be maintained, Brahmanical culture. And Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is described as Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitayacha. Go Brahmana Hitayacha. Krishna wants to see that the cows and the Brahmanas are especially protected. This is called Brahmanical culture. Because the Brahmanas are meant to give direction to the human society, to become God conscious, make spiritual advancement, and get out of this material existence in the human form of life. And for that, the protection for the cow, which gives the miracle food, the milk, cow's milk, it's very, very important for developing the finer brain tissues to understand spiritual subject matter. So, when it is said the lives of both the human beings and animals is first and foremost duty for government, Animals particularly refers to cows and bulls. Go Raksha. That's what is said in the Bhagavad Gita also. A government must not discriminate in such principles. It's not that only human beings are important and the animals not important. They don't think it is precious life of a cow. They don't think it's very precious. If it is useful, you may keep it. If it is not useful, you can do whatever you want. So that is very, very wrong, such a policy by the government. The government has no law to protect the animals. So, government must give protection to the cows and bulls as much as the government is meant for giving protection to the human beings. It is simply horrible for a pure-hearted soul to see organized animal killing by the state in this age of Kali. Prabhupada is talking about pure devotees. Pure devotees, they just can't even imagine that organized animal killing is going on in this age of Kali, supported by the government, especially in the Western countries. There are slaughterhouses where millions of cows are killed. And the government is having no laws to protect these animals, innocent animals. People have become heartless, and the government also is equally heartless in matter of killing such innocent animals. And they suffer so much. They suffer like the human being, because they have developed consciousness. Maharaja Parikshit was lamenting for the tears in the eyes of the bull. See, Parikshit Maharaj, he is so sensitive because he is Krishna conscious, he is a pure devotee. So he feels for the bull expressing its suffering condition through tears in the eyes. If a animal is crying, it's because it is suffering. It deserves to be protected, deserves to be given some relief from suffering. In a helpless condition, it is appealing for help. So, the caretakers, the protectors, just like the Bhagavad Gita, it says Vaishyas, they are meant for cow protection. They should give protection. So Maharaja Parikshit was feeling very, very bad about this suffering that the bull is undergoing. And he was astonished to see such an unprecedented thing in his good kingdom. Unprecedented means in his kingdom never before has such a thing ever happened. Can you imagine how good the governance was in Parikshit's time? Wherever he went, he heard glorification of Krishna. He heard, before this the description was there, he heard the glorification of the devotees of Krishna, the Pandavas, how nicely they were ruling. Everybody was happy. There was prosperity. Earlier chapters described that. Krishna particularly arranged the battle of Kurukshetra to change the rule from Duryodhana's rule to Yudhishthira's rule. Krishna always wants devotees to rule. Rajarshi. Krishna instructed the Bhagavad Gita to the sun god and later on to Arjuna. Why sun god? Because he is the ruler of the sun planet, and his descendants are coming in the dynasty, Surya Vamsha dynasty of kings. And there are also another set of rulers coming in the Chandra Vamsha, the descendants of the moon dynasty, Chandra Vamsha. The Supreme Lord himself appeared in Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha. He appeared as Lord Rama in Surya Vamsha, and he appeared as Krishna in the Chandra Vamsha. So this is the dynasty of God conscious kings. They were Raja, they were kings, but they were also saintly kings, Rishi. Rishi means saintly by their conduct, by their behavior, by their character, saintly persons. So Parikshit Maharaj was ruling so perfectly that such a instance is unprecedented. So Prabhupada concludes this purport by telling men and animals were equally protected as far as life is concerned. That is the way in God's kingdom. The 9th verse, Ma Saurabhe Yatra Shucho Vyetu Te Vrushalad Bhayam Ma Rodir Amba Bhadram Te Khalanam Mai Shastari. The meaning is, O son of Surabhi, you need lament no longer now. There is no need to fear this low-class Shudra, and O mother cow, as long as I am living as the ruler and subduer of all envious men, there is no cause for you to cry. Everything will be good for you. So in the purport, Prabhupada says, protection of bulls and cows and all other animals can be possible only when there is a state ruled by an executive head like Maharaja Parikshit. So the protection for the bulls and cows as a very, very important aspect of the state administration is understood by a God-conscious king. Maharaja Parikshit addresses the cow as mother, for he is a cultured, twice-born Kshatriya king. Amba, that's the way the cow is addressed, mother. Amba means mother. So why? Because he is a qualified Kshatriya. He is a qualified Kshatriya. He has undergone the cultural birth, the second birth, Dvija, by being initiated, spiritually initiated. That is the meaning. Surabhi is the name of the cows which exist on the spiritual planets and are especially reared by Lord Sri Krishna himself. In Krishna's personal abode, Goloka. Goloka means the place where cows are specially reared by Krishna, protected by Krishna. They are called Surabhi cows. As men are made after the form and features of the Supreme Lord Krishna, so also the cows are made after the form and features of the Surabhi cows in the spiritual kingdom. So the cows on this earth planet, what we see, they are made after the form and features of Surabhi cows in Krishna's personal abode. In the material world, the human society gives all protection to the human being, but there is no law to protect the descendants Surabhi. Now these descendants Surabhi, the cows, can give all protection to men by supplying the miracle food milk. Many times Prabhupada has pointed out. Miracle food milk. It is complete nutrition for the human being. It is most important for development of finer brain tissues to understand spiritual subject matter. But Maharaj Parikshit and the Pandavas were fully conscious of the importance of the cow and bull, and they were prepared to punish the cow killer with all chastisement, including death. So the cow and bull needs to be protected to the in such a way that anybody even attempts to harm the cow or the bull, immediately they will be killed, death penalty. There has been sometimes agitation for protection of cows, but because there are no pious executive heads and suitable laws, the cow and the bull are not given proper protection in our present times. The human society should recognize the importance of the cow and the bull and thus give all protection to these important animals, following in the footsteps of Maharaja Parikshit. See, the Bhagavatam is the ideal, suggesting the ideal way of ruling the state, ideal way of conducting oneself. So, Krishna will be pleased when the cows are protected and the Brahmanas are protected, and Krishna will bestow real peace upon human society in such a situation. Otherwise, we cannot expect peace. There will always be disturbances, natural disturbances. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.